G'day and welcome to another episode of Alberta Prepper. I want to welcome you all here. Thank you for having a look at my channel and thank you for supporting me. I hope that if you like what you hear, that you like and subscribe. And if you don't, that's fine. It's totally up to you. Uh, Today has been quite the busy day today. It is Christmas time, as you can see, and it is time to start making plans. Now, as everyone knows, Christmas can be an extremely stressful time of the year, but it can also be an amazing time of the year if you know how to deal with it. Deal with that stress that is. Basically, Christmas time is a microcosm of preparation. Understanding that something is going to happen in the future, you plan for it, you get ready, and then you execute when that time comes. The fact is that Christmas always comes at the same time of year, and most people become unaware, get caught unawares, that is. They forget about things, they kind of go along, and then comes November and they start thinking about it, and then later November comes around and they're like, oh dear, I should do something about it. Then comes early December and oh no, and then comes Christmas and all hell broke loose. People's feelings are hurt, everyone's stressed, people are unhappy, and it changes this beautiful time of year to something less than beautiful. Now, what I like to do is pre-plan everything when it comes to Christmas. I pre-plan presents, I pre-plan dinners, I pre-plan decorating, I pre-plan anything and everything that has to do with Christmas, including time off and getting around with the kids and the family and making sure that everyone has everything that they need. Get the kids out to buy their presents early and stuff like that. The reason why is when it comes to Christmas, I want it to be as relaxing as possible for my family and for myself personally. Now, preppers should already know this, but I find that preppers are often the ones who forget the most because they're so busy prepping for the imminent disaster that they forget about the imminent major events in life that happen every year. Birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. And they leave it to the last minute or to the last week or two and rush around, go wild, and try and get everything that they can in a short amount of time. Now, there are some people who are very well organized and have everything done by November 1st and just wait for that day, December 25th, when they have their big event of opening presents, having a family over, and having dinner. And then the so on and so forth for the next week when it comes to New Year's Eve. Now, how you prepare for Christmas or Thanksgiving or for Easter is by remembering that it is coming. So the same way that you prepare for an end of days situation or SHTF, you prepare for these days. You know that you're going to have certain types of food. So when you can, buy your turkey early or your ham, depending on what you want. Prepare by buying your vegetables early, frozen vegetables, canned. Make sure that you buy everything as early as possible. Start talking with your family about presents in the for Christmas. If you are planning for Christmas and you do exchange gifts, start talking to them. Ask them questions. Ask them, what are they interested in? Are they Do they like this kind of stuff? Do they want this in their future? And if it is, then get ready to buy it. Look for those deals. Look for those things that you know that you can get that. The deals will happen just after Christmas or halfway to Christmas, like July and August. People kind of forget that, hey, you know what? There are fabulous deals on those things. And it's the same way with prepping. You don't prep at the last moment. You prep in the idea that things might happen, and what things might happen, what do you need in those situations? If it's going to be a flood situation, do you have sandbags? Do you have a way to get out of your area? Do you have plans for places to stay if need be? Do you have friends and family who know of these plans? When it comes to things like hurricanes or tornadoes or stuff like that, do you have backup plans? Do you have shelters? Do you have escape routes from the area? And I'm not talking taking the interstates or the highways or the freeways. I'm talking back road get outs where you can still get out to the same place that you need to go to, but you're going to be using roads that other people aren't interested in using because it's going to seem slow now when everything is good, but when everything is bad, they'll be the fastest routes out of town. These are the kinds of things that you have to plan for. You don't plan your idea the day of or the day before. You plan it weeks and months in advance, even years when it comes to some of these potential disasters. And other disasters, well, you don't plan for them at all because if they happen, most likely you're not going to be around to worry about it anyways. Like, I've heard of preppers who've gone out and actually prepped for a meteor or a comet to hit the Earth. Now, I don't know what they think they're going to use to protect themselves, but if they're anywhere within the comet strike or meteor strike, there's no shelter that's going to protect you. And even if you're on the other side of the world, the wind and water forces that will be unleashed by these strikes, if they're large enough, again, there's not much you can do. You can hide up in a cave and wait it out, but there won't be much left when you get out. That doesn't mean that you don't try and survive. Our ancestors did it for hundreds of thousands of years now, but it means that you don't worry about those types of things. It's the old worry about things that I can control and give the rest to God. And figuring out which ones are true and which ones aren't. When you prepare for things, you must look at all contingencies. Do you need water? Do you need food? Do you need medicine? Do you need first aid? Do you need a shelter? Do you need a place to go to? Do you need friends and family to back you up? Or do you have to do things on your own? All these things have to come together, and it has to be well before, months before, years before, if preferable. Today is a hard day for speaking, I see. But I want you to understand that anyone can do it. It's just being willing to take that time. People spend so much time worrying about the things that don't matter and doing those things and taking up the time and wasting it and not having the time to be able to do the things that matter. be it through family, friends, time with them, through loved ones, through your health, through your ability to do things basic. If you spend more time worrying about the things that you can't control over the things that you can, if you worry about the things that have nothing to do with you, but don't worry about your friends and family, if you worry more about your job than you do of your family, why do you have that job? Is that job just there for the prestige? Or is your family there? Or are you doing it for your family? And if you are doing it for your family, then that means that you have to spend that time also with them. They are part of your team. And if they feel like they're part of your team, they'll be a bigger help than if you don't have them feel like they're part of your team and they're just a burden to you. Preparing means understanding what your true priorities are in this world and acting on them promptly and appropriately. So, today, why don't you go take 5 minutes and sit there and think to yourself, hey, this is what I've been worrying about. Is there anything I can actually do about it? And if not, maybe I shouldn't worry about it. And if there is something I can do about it, is there some way I can premeditatively change the way I react to it and prepare myself for those situations in that issue? Those are the types of questions that you should ask yourself. I ask myself that every morning. I get up, I sit on the side of my bed, and I think to myself for 5 minutes, what is my plan for today? What is my plan for tomorrow? And what is my plan for the rest of this week, this month, this year? Every morning I do that. And I make an accounting in my own mind of what I have already done, what I have to do right away, and what needs to be done in the future. Once you put these priorities together and properly and understanding what it is that you actually need, what you could use, and what is nice to have, life will be so much easier. And the same thing will happen for this Christmas season. If you pre-plan it, you'll find that life is a lot easier than if you cowboy it and live on the seat of your pants. Hope you have a great day. Alberta Prepper out.